Hello to the Vegan as Fuck podcast, sponsored by Rise Kombucha. Food forward thinking. Experience it today.
What's going on, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 6 of the Vegan as Fuck podcast. I'm your host, Donny. Today we have a very special guest in the house, owner and founder of Montreal's very first all-vegan pub, Sahar. How you doing, brother?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you. Pleasure to have you here. And it's been a while since we've seen each other last.
It has been a while since we've seen each other, yeah.
I think it was about 3 months ago.
Yeah, when we ran that contest.
At your restaurant.
Yeah.
And did you feed me well that day?
I think we did. I think you did good. I think we gave you a bunch of food.
Honestly, it wasn't the best idea to start off a photo shoot with me eating the Monster Burger.
What do you mean? That's probably the best idea that we
I think
had.
you could go ahead and tell our listeners what's in the Monster Burger.
So it's basically either we use the Impossible Patty, or we use the Veggie Patty, or we use our house-made patty.
Okay.
You get to pick whichever one of those you want.
Okay.
Plus we have like a chicken patty.
Okay.
Melted cheese on it. We put like our ginormous onion ring, and it's between two patties with lettuce, tomatoes, and the works.
I have memories. See, I didn't know that you gave all 3 choices. You could choose the one. But so it is 2 patties, though.
Yep, it's definitely 2 patties.
And it does have a huge onion ring inside of it.
It definitely has a monster onion ring.
And I remember trying to finish it. I couldn't finish it. I made it to like the last bite. I was like, I quit. I give up. Because also...
because we had the poutine there.
You had the poutine, yeah. We had the wontons.
Yeah,
we had the vegan fish tacos.
Yeah.
And I think the thing with me is usually before taking photos, I'm not trying to eat too much, because then you're going to look a little heavier than
For sure.
than you already are,
And we gave you like the biggest meal. We gave you the poutine first and the
Yeah.
Monster Burger. It's a great start.
It was good time. So
Nice.
for me, I did learn a little bit more about your vegan journey because that was the first time we met back then. But why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit how your journey started, when you kind of came upon veganism and the whole nine.
So it started for me like over 7 years ago.
Okay.
But prior to that, like I'd cut out meat. I was still doing dairy and seafood for a little bit.
Okay.
And then I met this girl and she started talking to me about veganism. She's like, why don't you just go vegan? And at the time I told her, I was like, I have no idea how to replace like, my breakfast and like the fish and the proteins and stuff like that. And so she said like, look, I'll explain it to you and I'll show you.
Yeah.
So she did. She
was vegan at the time.
She was vegan
herself already. Okay.
Yeah. So she was vegan for a long time. She was a huge activist also. So she came over and she was a chef. So she cooked like this fabulous meal.
So you got like the teachings from the right person right off the bat. You're lucky because I'm pretty sure most vegans don't have that same opportunity.
Of course not. Yeah. And so she explained to me like the things that I needed and the things that were missing. And so pretty much overnight, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna stick to this, and I'm gonna go vegan.
That's amazing.
And then I started watching the documentaries. I started seeing like how animals get treated, and it became more and more difficult for me to disassociate like having a cat, a dog, and a cow, a chicken, a duck. It became
all just animals.
Exactly.
All
like if I wasn't
beings.
going to eat them, like why would I eat those? Like what makes them any different? Just because they don't live with me, like
That's right.
it makes no difference.
Yeah.
So so that was the beginning of my journey, and then from that point on, like I haven't looked back.
That's amazing. And how long ago was that? What year was that?
I don't know the year, but it was like definitely over 7 years ago.
Over 7
like
years,
at least
okay.
like 7.5 years now. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What was let's say your friend's reaction to like when you started kind of telling them, hey, I can't go out and eat there with you guys, I'm vegan now, or they come over and they starting to notice things? Like,
so I started them.
Was it a big announcement? Did you have to come out to everybody?
It was kind of with my parents especially, like because they're very like the whole family was like based on like meat and stuff like Middle Eastern, and like that's the kind of food we ate.
Okay.
But it was mostly like they were already sort of trained before that because I'd cut out meat and chicken and all that.
Going into this, that's right. So how long had it been that you had cut out eating like meat and stuff?
So before being vegan, it was like about 8 years of no meat, no.
Oh, so you're like 15 years deep. Okay.
It's been a long time that I haven't had.
That's amazing.
So to me, like I can't tell you what beef tastes like. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really, really great. So for you, it's just cutting out like certain meats and dairy and like.
Yeah, because I was eating junk food.
You were kind of mostly plant-based for I guess those 8 years. Well, not mostly, but you were like transitioning.
it was like a pescatarian, vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Like I was keeping more vegetarian diet. Yeah. Seafood was when I went out with friends and stuff.
I got you. Because 15 years ago, when you think about it, like vegan wasn't so anywhere near as kind of common, trendy, known as it is now, right?
No, there's absolutely nothing. There was like, you had Chuchai and Au Vivre. I think that was pretty much they've been the staples of,
back
of
in the
Montreal.
Day.
Yeah.
Shout out to those two. Those two restaurants have been holding it down for a while. So that's amazing. And so I guess same thing with your friends. No one was like overly shocked when you did, but vegan is usually that
they
when you tell people you go vegan,
like, 100%.
What?
Oh man, like
because now you're like against them, you know?
They were just annoyed. Like they were just like, we're not going to go out with you anymore.
Okay.
Like there's nowhere. Where are we taking you? Like where are we going? Everywhere I went, like I like, luckily like the vegan chefs, she told me, she's like, look, any restaurant will create a vegan meal for you.
That's right.
If you just call them in advance.
Mm-hmm.
If you just show up, they're all going to be pissed at you and being like, you're just showing up like I'm just going to give you like fries.
Yeah.
But if you call them in advance, like you call a restaurant in advance, you tell like the chef, like, look, I have a reservation for this day.
Sure.
Are you able to prepare a vegan meal for me?
Or what are your vegan options?
Yeah.
And also I think when it comes to restaurants, and I don't think most people knew this until they started their vegan journey, but you can go and you can look at any dish and you can just be like, well, remove this meat, remove this dairy. I'll take this salad, but minus those things. The dressing clear, no animal products, okay.
Yeah.
Or I'll just take some olive oil and lemon on my salad.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You can make it work. Even if you don't call in advance, you can find a way. If they don't have pre-made vegan options, then you could definitely customize any meal or ask the chef to make a special request.
Like there's I feel like there hasn't been a place that I've been to where they basically said, I have nothing for you.
Exactly.
Like they have vegetables, they have like pretty much potatoes, rice. They can do something.
Those are the staples.
Exactly.
Anyways, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And vegans have learned to just take like what used to be sides for us. That's like our main now. We're like, give us a side of this, side of that, side of that, side of that. Yeah. Throw it all together and we have one big vegan meal.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Good times. So, do you follow like a lot of what's going on within the vegan community? Are you vegan like into the activist side of things?
So I wouldn't call myself like an activist and like per se, like I don't like in terms of like what you like I've seen you go out and like literally like protest and do those things and a lot of people go out and do it. Like for me it's more of a one-on-one. Like I like if I meet somebody and they ask me like why'd you go vegan? Like I feel like I have a better connection with them if I just talk to them directly, like one-to-one,
just doing outreach,
than going out and protesting. Although, like, I would love to.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's a great way to do it as well.
That's right.
It's just something that I've never done.
Never
like
had a chance.
I do follow. I follow a lot of people. Natalie.
Yeah.
Like I love what she does. Like I see her go out in the street and just like literally straight up go up to random people and be like, yo, you know, you got fur on your thing, man.
Yeah. The fur activists.
Like I love that. I love the like because. A lot of people they're just not educated. They don't know because society has limited what we're fed.
That's right.
Like we're told like you have to consume this, you have to wear this, you have to live like this.
That's right.
And people don't know. But when you talk to them and you explain to them and you make them realize like, look, you know, like there's actually like a sentient life that's taken
every time that you purchase a meal with animal products or go to the grocery store.
Yeah, they start to
pick something off the shelves because I guess people probably. What I'm thinking, the reason why, let's say they do understand it, but they still don't care, they're thinking, well, I see all these products already in the grocery store. The animal already died, so what's the difference?
Exactly.
If I consume it or pay for it? But what they don't understand is that they are directly funding
100%.
These industries with their dollar.
Exactly.
They are, promoting it when they post pictures of it or when they feed it to their friends and families.
Of course.
So it's like, what type of industries do you want to be supporting and promoting when it comes to your everyday choices? And veganism, vegan lifestyle is obviously the one that's the most ethical, compassionate, sustainable, and that can even be argued
to me, I tell people, I just say, I'm like, look, like when you wake up in the morning, do you want to choose compassion or you want to choose violence? And you don't really realize that you're choosing violence with your food. People don't understand that. They don't associate violence with their food because they don't see the animal that was slaughtered behind closed doors.
That's right.
They just see like a piece of like flesh that's there that they've associated with food. So to them, there's no difference. They don't see it. They're like, and you're like, yeah, but do you realize that for that piece of flesh to be put in that grocery store, there's a lot of violence that had to occur 100%. For that to get there. Yeah. So that's why I say like that's like if you're choosing violence, that's what you're choosing every morning or every time you feed yourself by choosing an animal product.
100%. I 100% agree. And most people, like you said, just haven't made the connection, or they have and they feel that their actions aren't contributing it as much. But it is a great way to let them know that every single time that you eat a meal that has animal products, you are supporting a violent industry and an industry that exploits animals, exploits babies, exploits mothers. And we can all relate to babies and mothers and brothers and sisters and cousins and friends, because humans, animals, non-human animals,
they have
it's all the same.
They believe in families.
Yeah, and they all feel fear and they all feel pain and happiness and joy. So I think most people just haven't fully made the connection yet, but that's what it is we're here to do. And speaking of activism, you actually do major activism yourself through your restaurant.
Yeah, of course.
That is a form of activism.
So to me, that's what when I say like, yes, I do the activism, but I don't really go out like in the streets and stuff. Like, like I believe that if we can educate people with their palate, people eat with their eyes and eat with what they see, and if you can feed them something that tastes good. Like my philosophy has always been before we even opened the pub was, I want to make good food. I don't want to make good vegan food, because vegan food is good if you do it, if you create it and deliver it properly. Yeah, it could be one of the best meals you'll ever have. Like 100%. You have to be so much more creative when it comes to it, because you're not just taking like a slab of flesh and cooking it and dousing some like whatever like seasoning on it and then it's done. Yeah, like you have to really become creative with it. 100%. And then if a non-vegan eats our food and eats it and says like, yo, this is delicious. Yeah. Then at the end of the day, that makes them think like, well, wait a minute, I don't have to like eat a burger. I don't have to eat like a chicken or whatever. Like I can eat this and have the same satisfaction and 100%. Be just as full and enjoy it just as much. 100%. So that's what we built Bowhead on. It was based on like, I never went out to target vegans because I knew vegans will come. Vegans will support vegan and they'll be like, that's another place for us to go to. But I wanted to target non-vegans. I wanted to have non-vegans show up and eat and be like, this is delicious food, this is delicious vegan food. Exactly. I 100% agree with that approach. And that's why it's amazing that your menu has like burgers and wings and poutines and desserts. But now when you invited me last time, you guys even stepped it up. I was eating like vegan butter chicken. Yeah, we had the vegan butter chicken that we just brought in. Yeah, I forget what else. There's so many things that day. Matt, we keep changing and we keep. You guys had some like bread, some like vegan sausages. If I'm not mistaken. The bangers and mash. Bangers and mash. Yeah, so classic traditional pub food that you can watch the game to. Of course, which is great, you know, because I think people have associated veganism with just like with like salads, and you're eating salads, but no. So my original idea, which was nixed by my partners, was I wanted to offer no salads. Okay. I was like, I want no salads. No salads, just to break the myth of veganism. Yes, no salad myth. I want to have a huge sign outside, no, we don't serve salads. But you might can still run with that. It's good marketing, to be honest. It is, and it's great, and I love it. But like at the end of the day, like I kind of understand, like you do need your salads also, and people have that, and people have those needs, and I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, we'll have it. Yeah. But it would have been great had we ran with the whole we don't serve salad. Yeah, that would have been funny. But your Caesar salad is delicious, so please do not take that off the menu. It's not going. It's one of my favorite, and your loaded messy fries. What do you guys call them? Oh, animal fries. Animal fries. Well, it's like an homage to like the In-N-Out. Yeah, exactly. So they have that. They just basically took everything and put it on fries, and we did the same kind of thing. Love the animal fries. Yeah. Every time I've left your restaurant, I think I've been there about 4 or 5 times. Every time I leave, I'm like, I need to be rolled out of there. Yeah, I don't eat for like a whole day because we always go all out. That was the point. That was the goal. Like we didn't we wanted to steer clear from healthy because everybody has this notion like, oh, vegan is healthy. We're like, no. Like there's it's all junk. It's all junk food. There's a ton of junk food that you can have that's not healthy at all. Yeah, exactly. And you'll still be like, you'll walk out, you're like, whoa, what did I just eat? There's whole food plant-based and then there's plant-based. Exactly. And plant-based covers everything. Whole foods covers more foods that aren't processed and there's a big spectrum, and that's the thing people don't realize. It's huge. There's it's limitless almost in terms of what you can create. 100%. Like you can do anything with it. And you can use so many amazing things like jackfruit, mushrooms, cauliflower. Tofu skin. Have you ever used tofu skin? I haven't, but I heard about it. Tofu skin is phenomenal. Yeah. It's next level. It has like a pulled pork texture. Yeah, love that. That's unmatched. Love that, yeah. We can recreate everything. And it's been an unbelievable journey for myself from a foodie standpoint, because I've always been a big eater, and same here. When I got into a vegan lifestyle and I started seeing how beautiful the colors were and all the sauces and all the flavors and all the different vegetables, I was like, this is art. Yeah. It's been art for me, and for almost 4 years now, every day I still, no matter what I do that day, no matter what projects we have going on, and things have changed so much in the last 4 years. For sure. Whatever I'm eating,
my followers are gonna see that. I'm gonna pull out my camera. I'm like, it's too pretty. I gotta
course.
show it. This avocado toast or this, smoothie bowl or this burger, whatever it is. Like I wanna show it.
Yeah.
It still amazes me to this day that you can just eat this every day and not kill animals.
Of course.
Like it's still so shocking to me that I still even in 10 years from now, like veganism is gonna be so mainstream and trendy, and I'll still be showing every meal because I'll still be shocked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That this food is so delicious.
Yeah, because we're just pushing the limits. Like I think we're just like at the tip of the iceberg in terms of veganism. In terms of what we can create.
100%.
Like it's just every day. It's just something new comes out, something new, another boundary that's being pushed. So it's beautiful. It's a great thing.
That's a good point. I'm happy you brought that up because, as activists and what we see every day, and like I follow a lot of activists as well. So a lot of the content we see online, it's like constant suffering and oppression and abuse and exploitation and death. So hearing that, this kind of makes me remember like, yeah, you're right. There's a positive light at the end of the tunnel that we're going to, kind of like, pave the way for, set the foundation for the future of the animals and the people and the planet and all humanity. So I love that. Yeah. So good to know a little bit more about your journey and your restaurant and your vision. But I think there's a few things that I wanted to get into today.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I wanted to discuss with you and ask you your opinion on is Kim Kardashian, as of recently, more so has been promoting a plant-based diet. Now this has been off and on for about a year or so. But within the last month, early 2021, she's been showing a lot more signs of promoting it, leading up to one of her most recent posts. And she has, I think, 200 million followers on Instagram.
Like a ton of followers.
Like over 200 million followers on Instagram. And she posted a photo, and the caption was, plants does the body good.
Yeah.
Which was like, implying, of course, that she's on a plant-based diet. And that just blew up all over the vegan community.
Which is amazing.
But for some good reasons and some bad reasons. That's what I actually wanted to ask you your opinion. Now, I think it seems like half of the community is like, this is an amazing opportunity because she's using her platform to talk about a plant-based lifestyle, but she's not a vegan.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian is not a vegan. She's eating plant-based foods.
Yeah, which is still, it's, to me, like, I'm of the opinion of any promotion, any advertisement, any attention that's brought to it is good attention. I don't care if she's going to continue to be plant-based. I don't care if she like falls off the wagon or whatever, or has like a cheat meal or this and that or whatever she does. Yeah. She literally put out a post to hundreds of millions of people. Yeah. And they saw it, and even if it reaches a minor percentage of it, and it gets people to question, and it gets people to open like their mind and their thoughts and go further, then by all means I'm for it. I'm not the one who's gonna go out and bash like all these like mainstream companies or the fast food joints that start adding like options. I'll go and support them. I want to support them because at the end of the day, it's like with these corporations, it's your dollars that speak, right? Yeah. So if I go to that place and I buy a plant-based like meal from them or a plant-based burger or whatever it is that they're offering that's plant-based, they see that dollars are going into that product, into that brand. So what happens is at their head office, they're seeing money coming into that on that particular product. Yeah. What's that going to do? That's going to expand their menu and be like, well, if I'm selling X amount of percentage of this, then I'm going to add more of these options to my menu.
That's right, yeah.
If we go and we don't spend our dollars on that, if we then say like, you know what, I'm going to boycott whatever this company or that company.
Tell everyone, no, don't go there.
Don't go there, whatnot. What's going to happen? They're going to see like, well, actually, I put this plant-based option and nobody's buying it. That's right. I'm not going to continue putting it. Take this off and add more animal-based products, 100%. And it's going to add more and more. So sure, the majority of their menu is animal exploitation. But if my dollar doesn't go towards that animal exploitation and it goes towards their plant-based meal, and they see it, and they see those dollars coming in, they're gonna realize, because those corporations, they don't care about your morals or your ethics or whatever. You're gonna ban them or not. They don't care. They want your dollar. They want your money. They want your money. And where you put your money, that's what's gonna be the decision for them. So if they see money coming in on plant-based, they're gonna be like, okay, let's remove this option and add another plant-based option, and let's remove that. And as long as we can continue doing that. At the end of the day, like more and more places are going to offer more and more options. That's right. Like we have Amir now has Impossible like kebab in there. We have like Bustan that has their like vegan option. Yeah. And
these are very, very non-vegan restaurants that are catering to vegan clientele, vegan demand, and following the trend of of all these businesses and corporations doing it.
Exactly.
So to touch upon that, like again, you look at KFC as an option. You know, like they're the worst. You know, they're literally
100%,
like
yeah. They're
just
terrible.
Yeah, we know what they do.
Yeah.
But now they put a plant-based option.
I will buy that plant-based burger. I've done it before.
I've bought it before. I bought it the first day it came out, just so we could try it.
Sure.
But my thing is, like, where I find it even more useful than not just like supporting it at that restaurant so that they keep it, but just giving it the platform.
Yeah.
Because so many people's eyes are on KFC because they do go in there.
Yep.
So then they'll see, oh, that's that plant-based stuff. That's what that annoying vegan guy is always talking about.
Exactly,
You know, okay,
yes.
I see it here. Or you might have a friend who's vegetarian or vegan or whatever it is. So it's just using that platform. Like if McDonald's does come out with their new vegan burger, like they have so many eyes on them that they are bringing awareness to plant-based alternatives. Yeah. I'm not saying go to McDonald's, support them. I'm just saying the awareness that they bring by having the platform that they have. And it's a similar situation with Kim Kardashian. But I will disagree with you, obviously. I do believe that I think it would be very bad if like a year later she's just like, oh, I'm not doing this plant-based thing anymore. To me, it's right now, I feel it's just so crucial that, hey, she's already going towards the plant-based diet. Obviously, the more information that's out there, and these people, they have businesses. So they sell makeup or they sell clothes or they sell whatever it is. The more everyone moves towards plant-based, sustainable, more ethical, you know, better for everybody, like that can really, really shape the world because everyone's looking up to her from who has businesses also, and she's running this successful business, and her sister's running this successful business. So, and I think she's been having a decent impact on her family too,
which is good.
Having them posting plant-based foods and stuff. So,
and that's why we like. From my point, like you support those people. Like I find that probably like a lot of people are going to go out and be like, oh, but you're not vegan.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, you're not helping.
Exactly.
By doing that, by going out and bashing her for doing something and promoting something, you're like, oh, stop promoting plant-based, you're not vegan. You're like, well, no, like don't support the person, because none of us, like we're not from the generation that when we were born into veganism.
That's right.
Every single one of us at one point or another consumed meat. And was living like a life where we didn't understand where it was coming from, and we ate it, and we and we had no problems with it because we were uneducated at that point.
Yeah.
But it took somebody with compassion to sit down and talk to us and explain to us and enlighten us.
Exactly.
So be that person.
That's right.
To like
be open.
Like
and she can change. She could become an animal rights activist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I didn't know I'd become an animal rights activist, so
course.
maybe she could become an animal rights activist. So I think the possibilities are endless, and I think just using her platform again to promote plant-based alternatives to that many people, even for all those people, just planting that seed. Again, if they start a plant-based diet, if they get into veganism, if they become activists. So I think what's important is that you got to take your own opinion, your own emotions out of the scenario. And even, it's not about Kim. Like, I don't care about Kim at all. I just care about her platform. So let's just be happy that she's using her platform for that. And then let the natural evolution of the vegan journey and the plant-based journey and all the influencers online are going to help those people who are interested into that lifestyle, because there's so many food pages, so many personal trainers, there's so many environmentalists, there's so many people who push it for all the reasons.
Tons of professional athletes now like are succeeding and thriving on it. So it's all there. Like it's good that it opens people's eyes up to now, like to being able to say, like, you know what, even if you take 1 minute to research, what is this plant-based life? Let me look at it.
That's right.
So to me, it's positive. It's good.
I think so.
Keep supporting it.
Let's keep supporting it. There's a lot of people who are like, she's not vegan, or she's not fully plant-based because she was eating a plant-based bacon that did have some like egg whites in it. She's not going to know. We all made those mistakes.
Of course, we all.
So she promoted the wrong brand, but it's like everyone's like, why are we going to like zone in on those minor details?
We'll start it somewhere
and be like mad at her and hate her. It's like, okay, so what if she stopped totally talking about plant-based?
And then
we would be celebrating that? No. We have to encourage it. So I think
the difference is, like, we all had our mistakes and our journey in private.
Yeah.
Hers is completely public.
Yeah.
And because of that, she's like under a ton of scrutiny.
Yeah.
But like, don't do that. Just support the person.
Exactly.
Whether you follow her or not, like, don't bash her.
That's right. I agree.
Let her keep doing her thing.
Good to know your opinion on that. And another thing I want to talk about, since we're talking about kind of like celebrities or people in the public eye to do with veganism and plant-based stuff. So I think it was just earlier this week, Kelis, who is the ex-wife of rapper Nas, and who also had her little career in the music industry with her famous song,
I don't remember her songs.
That's
her song.
So that's, I guess, her most famous song, and that's like a world-renowned song, so that makes her a world-renowned person. Like, people know who Kelis is, you know, for the most part, especially in North America. So I didn't know this about her, but apparently, I guess she has her own farm where she
which is terrible.
where she keeps animals and she raises them, and then she goes on to kill them, consume them herself. And I think she also has a business where she sells some of these products to people as well. When I say products, I mean these are the bodies of dead animals. But, she has a business out of doing this. And I didn't know about this. And the reason that she came to my attention the other day was a photo that was circulating in the vegan community of her holding the two bodies of decapitated chickens and saying, like, I don't care what anyone thinks. This is how I do it. I'm taking it back to the old ways. If you don't like it, get out of here. And obviously, she ended up getting a lot of attention and a lot of heat from the vegan community, from the animal rights activist community. And did you happen to see?
I did. I saw the picture. I mean, I'm not a fan. Like, I thought it's terrible. Like, you're glorifying violence. You're promoting violence. You're promoting death. You're promoting murder. And you're like, and then I saw like another thing on her page. I also like I happened to like I saw the picture, so I went to see the picture, and I went to see like her profile, and she got these like new like baby lambs or like and it was just
some baby goats, beans.
Baby goats. It made me so sad, and I was just like, what do you like?
Because in her video, she's like, oh, look at Beans, she's doing well now. Her mom, Beans' mother, was there, and then she's like, oh, look at the two ducks they have, they're getting so big, and the ducks were like hiding they were scared, and she's saying they're getting so big, but because you're gonna eat them?
Exactly.
Like, that's not how you talk about a living being. They're getting so big in a loving way. So I let the comment know that, like, hey, you know, I was really, really upset. I was really upset at her first photo, but you know what? As upset as I was, I wanted to take a different approach, because I know a lot of vegans are gonna go there and just express how angry and mad they are, and it's going to come across as hateful or attacking to her. So I tried something different. I tried to write a respectful comment, and she actually ended up responding to my comment and saying, I agree with you, that because I said, hey, do you know, like, you're promoting the exploitation and abuse and killing of chickens, and I said, you know, chickens in factory farms are killed at 35 days old, and you know, this is like something that most people probably don't know, that they're killed as little babies. So just you promoting that, whether you raised your chickens and they lived longer, or you think you gave them a good life, you're still promoting the exploitation of them as objects and commodities for food. So I said, hey, you know, do you know that, like, chickens are killed at 35 days old in factory farms? And she responded by saying, hey, I agree that factory farming is wrong, but I don't have any problems with what I'm doing. I'm a farmer, I'm a chef, and this is like what I do. If you don't like it, you can beat it. So I was able to get a little comment out of her, but she ended up deleting that, which was funny enough. She deleted a couple of my comments, which is I have the screenshots of it, so we might have to release some of these comments. But she did delete a couple of mine, which showed me that she understood that what she was doing in some sense was wrong, and she didn't want those comments laying around, because other people she didn't delete. She's responding to a lot of people, and I haven't checked back in a couple of days, because when I checked, it was heated. It was in the beginning, but
she's educating her kids with this too. It's just that's the thing that makes me sad, is that you're normalizing it for your children.
You're normalizing it for your children, for your followers, and she has a large platform. So her thing is like, oh, why are you attacking me? Well, if you have 650,000 followers and you're promoting exploitation, violence, and you know, death on your page, you better know vegans are going to come and they're going to say, hey, you know,
what you're doing is wrong.
We know our cousins or our friends go eat animal products. We don't go to their page going crazy. But if you're holding a picture of a dead animal that you killed that you're about to cook,
you're standing there like proud with a smile on your face. Like, it's, to me, like, it's just, there's such a disassociation. Like, it's a living being. Like, it has feelings. Like, there's so many videos out there you can see, like, chickens running out to give you a hug and stuff. Like,
100%.
How do you then say like, no, this is normal, this is great?
Exactly. And I think, again, it's the whole holding the dead animal like a trophy. Like, you're proud of this, you know, like, that's what her message is. So saying, like, I'm totally for it, we know she is. Again, like, we know so many people are not vegan.
Of course.
We can't go talk to all of them if we just don't have enough time. But we're going to come at you when, you know, like, and I think another reason is, of course, we're going to use this opportunity, because it's like,
because of your platform.
There's hunters galore all over the Instagram, and they're holding their animals that they've killed and stuff. And again, we should be going to all their pages and going as armies and sending all kinds of comments and stuff like that.
That drives me mad.
But the thing is that she has a large platform and she's using it. So we're going to then get those conversations started so that people can see the comments and form their own opinions as to if what she's doing is right.
Hopefully, draw some attention to it, so that people realize that there's something that died there. Like that animal did not have a voice.
That's right.
So we're the ones giving it that voice.
And all the animals that are still there on the farm. So what really got me so sad was seeing the baby goat Beans.
Oh my God, that made me so sad.
To me, it's like they're gonna trick Beans. They're gonna trick Beans into loving them, trusting them, cuddling with them, and then one day, hey Beans, come over here for a second. Your life's about to change, you know, and then eat their food. To me, that's even like as twisted, as demented as it could get, because you really actually end up forming a bond and a relationship with that animal, and then you kill them and eat them.
Like to me, that's, I mean, maybe it's not the right word, but it's like almost like psychopathic tendencies. Like you raise it, like you see it in her video. She talks it lovingly, like, oh my God, you're so cute, you're so this, like babying the animal, and you're like, how do you do that? How do you talk in like a baby fashion to like your animal that you're gonna eventually just slaughter?
I agree, but there's some potential that we can change her mind, her mentality. We planted some seeds. The fact that she was responding to some of my comments, she was actually watching my stories.
Good.
Because I was calling her out in my stories, and she watched them all. The videos about Beans, she watched them. I have screenshots of her watching those stories.
Good.
And so we planted seeds.
Good.
We planted seeds. We made her know that, hey, what you're doing is not accepted and not appreciated by many people, and of course the animals. So think about changing your ways. So I think we did well by kind of all going there and leaving our 2 cents.
Yeah, there was a lot of comments.
I haven't checked back. I'll go back. I know
it's good though. That's good.
It's a lot of drama right now. So, and I think the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, in terms of the current news, was, I believe, from Russia. There was new reports of a bird flu coming from a factory farm out there, or some type of farm or slaughterhouse out there. So
we continue to do the same thing, and we don't learn our lessons. It's crazy. These pandemics, like every single pandemic, if you trace it back, even as far back as even influenza, they all originate from animal consumption. Yeah. And we just don't learn our lesson. It's like the animals are now retaliating, basically. They're like, you want to keep doing this? Yeah. We're just going to keep giving you pandemics, and we're going to keep killing you guys. It's
karma. It's the law of karma. Yeah. It's how the universe works. Yeah. And really hope that people wake up, because,
we're destroying our planet. We're not even realizing it.
There's so much facts and information, scientifically researched, peer-reviewed, when it comes to the destruction of the planet, when it comes to the impacts on our health from consuming animal products.
Of course.
The ethics to it. It's all out there, but people are still so...
They're not stopping.
When it comes to their food, they're just so emotional, and they believe that this is what they look forward to in life. So getting them to understand that you can make those same foods and have those same comforts with the plant-based option, that's the hardest thing to do right now.
I had a conversation, I don't know if you know Izzy from Herbivore.
I know of Herbivore, yeah.
So he's one of the owners there. Yeah. And he actually made a comment once to me that has resonated and stuck with me. He's like, as human beings, we're very anti everything that is violence and oppression. Mm-hmm. If somebody gets murdered, they go to jail. Rape, we take them and we put them in jail as well. Yeah. You become violent to somebody, you abuse somebody. All those things, we're all against it as human beings. Yeah. But when it comes to our plate, we fight tooth and nail against what our nature is. We fight for violence to put on our plate.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's crazy, because our natural instinct is to fight against violence. That's right. We want to protect people, protect human beings, protect other people,
protect even animals.
Exactly.
You see a dog in a car and it's hot, you want to get them out. You see a cat in a tree, you call the fire trucks. Yeah. If you see baby little animals, you're like, oh, they're the cutest. Yeah. But then you have no clue that you're eating them for lunch or for dinner or for breakfast.
Yeah, and you fight for you
you force it.
Fight for death and violence on our plate.
100%.
Every single day.
100%.
There was also,
and there's not enough people fighting for the animals, and that's one thing I find. When you look at all the human rights issues and human rights violations that are happening all around the world, they are terrible. They are the
course.
saddest things ever, and it's so hard.
It's
Being a human being and understanding this type of suffering that's happening from famine, starvation, war, disease,
Everything.
poverty. It is so sad. And when it comes to animal exploitation, it's like this is the one thing that we can actually play a part in diminishing by just changing our habits. So, hey, there's all this exploitation and suffering that's happening all around the world to both humans and animals. Do your part. Live a compassionate lifestyle.
100%.
Do your best to not have a negative impact on this planet and help all causes. Fight for all social justice.
Of course.
Fight for all oppression.
That's what the people
fight
don't
against
realize.
all oppression.
Yeah.
Fight against all the suffering and
people don't realize veganism is not just fighting for the animals. Like we're not saying like, oh, they're more important than like than third world countries or than other human lives.
Yeah.
We're saying like no, like fight for both.
Fight for both,
Both
yeah.
of them need to be. They both need a voice. They both need to realize that these things need to end.
That's right, because peace really starts on your plate.
course.
And when you look at the impacts of animal agriculture, it covers a lot of human rights
Of course.
issues, a lot,
Yeah.
When it comes to
Yeah.
resources that are used around the world, where
Yeah.
people are fattening up animals
Everything.
instead of feeding the starving population. So
terrible.
the impact of, just factory farming
It is.
alone on certain communities, poorer
Yeah.
communities, so it's a major human rights issue.
Of course.
So we just want people
Yeah.
to start connecting with these issues
Yeah.
a little bit more and seeing that, hey, there's so many reasons, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for the planet,
Yeah.
whether it's for the people, but just at least start
Start.
somewhere. Start with a one-day
Yeah,
vegan
exactly.
challenge.
Just
Go
start
to
with one day.
Bowhead,
Exactly.
have a monster burger, get the
Exactly.
party started. I'll meet you
Exactly.
there.
I'm in.
I think that's it. So it was definitely a pleasure having you on the
Awesome.
show today. I
Thank
think we
you for
covered
having
quite
me,
a
man.
lot.
Yeah, we did.
And everybody else who's watching or listening, stay tuned for the recording. It's going to be great. We appreciate you. And shout out to our amazing sponsors, Rise Kombucha, for always making sure that we're well hydrated on our show. You haven't cracked yours yet,
No,
right?
but I will. I definitely have been waiting for it. It's delicious. I love them.
Shout out to Rise Kombucha. Appreciate it. And thank you again, Sahar, for coming on the
Thank
show.
you for having me.
Great finish.
Of course, that's what I did.
We love it.
Perfect. I made a mess on your set.
It's okay. It's so funny. Yeah, you got to open it real quick.
It's still going. This is still going. This is
You just
never
open
ending.
it and drink it. I'll get you.
No, it's gonna fly out if I do it again.
Nothing's good now.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What a disaster. What a
Just
horrible
drink it. You
promo.
gotta start drinking. You gotta start drinking.
It's pure foam.